Hey guys, welcome back to Dip Switch Demos. My name is Jackson and yeah, I'm coming at you from a new space. That's kind of why the channel's been a bit quiet over the last couple of weeks. Moved house, that means a new studio. Still work in progress as you can see, but this is going to be the new space where all the reviews and demos and videos are going to come from. I've just started talking now and realised it's very echoey, so we'll have to sort that out. And also, you know, the amps are still in the case, the guitars have only just come out of the cases. I haven't plugged in any gear recently, so I thought the best way to kind of finish out this year and welcome you to the new place is to do my top 10 pedals of 2021. Seeing as, you know, all my guitars are still pretty much in the cases and the amps aren't out yet and all the pedals are still in moving boxes, I'm not going to really go through live tones in this video. I'm going to input clips from my previous demos of all these pedals. That's kind of the easiest way for me to do it right now, as we've literally moved in a couple of days ago. Let's get started. At number 10, I've got my most recent demo actually was the Great Eastern Effects Small Speaker Overdrive. And this pedal really blew me away and surprised me. The first pedal from Great Eastern Effects as well, and it's a really great pedal to start your company with. Basically, it's a pedal that aims to get the sound of a small speaker amp, like an old Fender Tweed Champ or something. And not only does it nail that sound, but also it kind of just gets you a really great recorded guitar tone in a live situation. The guitar sounds polished, it sounds like it really fits in a mix, you know, cutting a bit of bass, boosting the mids, a really sweet high end, and the crunch and the gain in it is just so pleasing to play with. I've literally left it on pretty much all the time I've had it on a board, so yeah, that is at number 10, a great pedal. I don't know why I'm giving these numbers, this is in no particular order. Next up on the list is another pedal from a British manufacturer. It is the Expresso Effects Fuzz Bender Mark II. If you don't already follow Expresso Effects on Instagram, you definitely should. Seriously good fuzz builds. He does a few boosts as well, but the fuzz is where I'm at, and the Fuzz Bender Mark II is I think it was my first proper tone bender as well, and it really spoke to me. Basically sounds like a really aggressive, gainy fuzz face, and I didn't know that's what I wanted, but it really is what I want, and it sounds killer. Build quality is second to none as well, and for what you're getting, they're at a really good price point. Definitely check out Expresso Effects and the Fuzz Bender Mark II. Next up is another pedal that I guess was a little bit of a surprise as well. It is the NativeAudio Kiaayo. A very simple volume, tone and gain overdrive pedal, which usually doesn't really excite me that much. You know, I've played so many of them now, but that pedal really is sweet and it has something special and different. I think I said in the original demo that it almost sounds like a really well polished, kind of fuller frequency Boss SD1. It's got that same sort of crunchy gain that reminded me of that, bit of a clean blend in there maybe, but it just sounds great. And again, it's an all-purpose overdrive, one of my favorites now, up there with, you know, things like the Great Amps Lightspeed, that sort of thing for me, and I love it. Next up on the list is also a sort of a new type of pedal for me. It's the Line 6 HX Stomp XL. I know the HX Stomp has been around for a while, but the XL came out this year, I'm pretty sure, and I picked one up, and it's a really great Swiss Army knife. One of my first ever pedals was the Line 6 M5, and that was a really great Swiss Army knife, and it's sort of an evolution of that. Of course, it's got all the amp models in there as well, but it's also a really flexible pedal in how you want to integrate it into your rig. You know, I've gone through a few different sort of rig setups using the XL, from sort of building, you know, a standalone unit, having it almost on the desktop and just using it as a studio tool, to having a, you know, being the heart of a pedal board with a couple of pedals, and now I've integrated it into a much bigger rig, and I'm using it a lot, and I really, really like what it has to offer. Next up on the list is the Intensive Care Audio Death Drive. A pretty high gain drive for me. Usually that's not my sort of thing, but this high gain drive really spoke to me, and I think it's because it's bordering on the fuzzy territory, but it rips. It's so sludgy, so gainy, and it's full of character, like all of his pedals, Intensive Care Audio. This pedal really spoke to me. I really enjoyed my time with it, and I've been using it a lot since. Next up on the list is the NRG Effects Purrer. Now, this is a bit of a cheat because the Purrer has been around for longer than the 2021, but the dual version in the mini format, which I've got, is new for 2021, or at least it was limited for this year, and I got it this year, and it's an insanely good overdrive. For me, I put it in the same ballpark as the Protein, the Gladio, King of Tone. In fact, you know, the Protein and the Purrer are fighting for the top spot for me a lot of the time. I love those two pedals, and the Purrer is just so good. I mean, I follow NRG Effects on Instagram as well. You can see the builds he does are impeccable. You see the insides of his pedals are insanely detailed, and great wiring, high quality. Good stuff, and the pedal, and it shows with the sound of the pedal, it sounds awesome. Next up is a pedal that took me a minute to get my head around. In fact, I still don't really fully understand it, and I didn't understand it when I filmed the demo, but the sounds that I managed to get out of it are really good, and I like the tones a lot, and it's really introduced a new type of modulation to me, as to a guy who doesn't use a ton of modulation. That would be the Thorpy Effects Pulse Doppler, sort of a phasey, univibey, vibrato type thing. All the things that I like, but it kind of does it in its own unique way that sounds vintage, but also like a sound you've never heard before. Probably my favourite modulation pedal because of how unique and different it is. Next up on the list is a pedal that answered my prayers for a long time. I've been looking for a good envelope filter to get that sort of John Mayer, is it Vultures? I don't know, the famous John Mayer envelope filter tone. I've really been searching for that for a long time, and the GFI System Rossie came out this year, and it nails it. As along with a few other things, because it is fully digital. You can do some crazy step filter stuff that I found to be a lot of fun. But the straight up envelope filter mode on it is just what I was looking for, and I've been really impressed with the build quality of the GFI stuff as well. I might check out a few more of their pedals. Really great pedal, and it's on my board and I've been using it ever since. Next up on the list is another recent pedal that I demoed on the channel. I hope this is not kind of recency bias, but it definitely is a great fuzz pedal, and that is the VS Audio Pandora, a vintage inspired fuzz face germanium fuzz with some modern features that I talked about in the demo that are really great. It has, the external boost, it has a bass and treble active EQ controls, as well as an inbuilt buffer, so you can put it in the signal chain wherever you like, and it has on that board with the Line 6 HX Stomp, it's the fuzz that takes care of all my fuzz, and because of that extra boost, it makes it really flexible, and it's a great sounding fuzz to boot as well. Finally on the list is probably the biggest surprise of the year for me, and that is the Blackstar Department 10 dual drive. I'm not sure what I was expecting going into reviewing this pedal, but whatever it was, my expectations were blown out of the water. In fact, so much so that I took it out and gigged it this year. I really felt like I could rely on that piece of gear to get me through a backline gig, which is what it was, and to make it sound good as well. It has really powerful EQ, you can sculpt it to be British sounding or American sounding. I had it towards the American side, and just a really nice amount of gain, clean to sort of actually pretty high gain. I certainly don't need any more gain out of it, but if you did want more gain, then there's the metal version or something. But the dual drive is really, really great, and the biggest surprise of the year, driven by a valve as well. How cool is that? So there you have it. 10 pedals that came out this year that have been my favourite 10. Obviously I've reviewed other pedals this year that I really loved that didn't make this list, and also some that didn't come out this year. But there you go. And this is the new room as well. Like I said at the start, I need to do some sound treating because I can hear my voice back right now. A few other plans going on. Got some artwork coming for behind me. Going to put up some shelves here above the amps for pedals and stuff, and a few more guitars around the place, and hopefully we can make it look really good, better than the last place as well, I hope. And I'm excited for 2022. Hopefully there's some cool stuff that we get to check out together, and yeah, full steam ahead. Thanks for sticking with me in 2021. It's been not a quiet year for myself, but I've had other commitments throughout the year, and yeah, I'm ready to get back into Dip Switch demos full steam ahead in 2022. Happy New Year everyone as well. Stay safe and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers guys.